Hello, I'm Bood FM and welcome to episode 4 of Rebuilding Palermo. As always, thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Smash that like button if you're still enjoying the series. Subscribe if you're new. Go and check out all my other videos. And yeah, hope you're well. Hope you're safe. And again, a thank you for coming back for another episode of this epic save because I'm loving playing it. Really, it's a joy. Absolute joy. And we find ourselves in the Serie A, which is absolutely amazing. We've done it successively. We're copying Parma, and now we're going to be playing against Parma. This is where this club is supposed to be, but we've got a weak squad and very low finances, so I don't know what's going to happen. Plus, I've got some very sad news. Captain Marvel, Wayne Rooney, has retired after one fantastic, game-changing season. This the legend that we signed on a free, on a very low wage, who a lot of people laughed at. He came in, he changed the club, he became the captain, galvanised players, he helped young strikers. And seeing as we're Italian, and the Italians love a painting, the club have immortalised him, and he is now going to be on the wall here at Palermo. He may have only been with us a season, but it's a season we will never forget. So we all salute you, Wayne. You're a legend for this club. And yes, I did try and sign him. He's now a coach. He often becomes a coach. And I've seen him become a great manager on this game sometimes. I think it just depends on what happens in his career after football. But I did have a spot on the team, coaching team. I did ask him. And he wanted about 17 grand a week. So, yeah. Wayne's gone. It's the start of the season. But I had to be realistic with this club. I haven't got much money. Like I may have said in the last episode, it's all about survival. It's about doing whatever we can to stay in this league, and that meant changing the tactic, definitely, because I've been playing with a very attacking tactic. And maybe not the formation, but just the way it plays. And these are the transfers I've made this summer. No one has left. Anyone of any quality has stayed, pretty much, unless their player's been released, but forget about them, because they are, you know, who cares about them? They're crap, they've been released. So I've brought in 8 players. The guy at the top, who's on a free, is a youth player who's bang average, who was brought in by another member of staff. So I have brought in some players. Some, I think, are pretty good. Now you might recognise Mr. Montiel, the 22-year-old Spaniard from Fiorentina, was here last year on loan. I've brought him back again. On loan from Atalanta, we've brought in Enrico Del Prato, 22 years old, can play in a couple of positions, which is very handy, 2 that I use. So I'm really happy with this signing. Next we have Pierluigi Pinto, 23-year-old Italian again, on loan from Fiorentina again. A good player for us, centre half, can cover at left back. We needed a keeper. He's not necessarily going to be a backup, he might be a starter. We're going to see how he does against our goalie, who's still pretty good to be fair. It's Andrea Ciculin, that's what I'm saying. 32 years old, on loan from Chievo. 3-star player, pretty decent. Yes, you may start calling us Fiorentina B. I wouldn't blame you if you did. Leonardo Serincola, love that name. 25 years old, right back, can play left back. Very handy player to have, very good player as well. Another player from Atalanta. We are using a lot of teams, not pretty much just 2, aren't we really? Giulio, I can't say that, why? It's very early for me, it's 5 AM. Maggiore, great. Central midfielder, not a bad player, 24 years old. We then have a player I like a lot, and this is the kind of player I'm surprised isn't a wonder kid, because I think he could be, because I think he's really good. It's Damiano Guolandi. Anyway, he's 18 years old, defensive midfielder from AC Milan, and yeah, happy to have him. And last but not least, we've got another player from Atalanta, so that's 3 from them, 3 from Fiorentina. Just, it's not a thing, I've just gone for the best players I could, and these were the best players I could get. He is a left winger, Nicolo Cambiaghi. Yeah, not the best, but he's got a lot of potential. This is the squad depth. And obviously we've got quite a few loan players in. I've still got players from last year. Like I said, we've got Andrea Dini, who I think is probably better, even though his star rating says he's not, than the keeper we've brought in. We've still got Stivanin, the left back, 28-year-old, who's half decent to be fair. Luca Lotti, centre half, still a half decent player. Cali from last year, who I really like. I think he's a good player. Hopefully he can have a good season. Replace Wayne, really. I hope. And moving on up, we've got Cali as well in the middle there. We've got Ambro, who's one of ours. Oh, he's been here a while. He's quite young. He's not the best. I mean, we are lacking some quality. It's going to take something to do something in this league. It was going to be a scrap this year. We've had a lot of success. It's time to scrap. We've still got players like Fish Naylor and stuff like that. We'll see how it all goes. And Strambolo, or Strambelli, or whatever his name is. Up front, we've obviously got the young regen kid who's got a bit better again. Hopefully, he can do something this year. He's going to be backed up by the other young striker and Fish Naylor. So yeah, I'm lacking at the minute. Hopefully, I could bring in some more players, because this is going to be tough. Because we have favourites to go down with LETSPLAY. There's some teams there I know we're better than. I reckon we are, because I just know this game. But yeah, the bookies have got no faith in us staying in this league. Now I couldn't bring in Wayne Rooney, but they let me expand the coaching. Obviously the youth team coaches, I'm not doing that. That's left to someone else, but I'm obviously doing my own team. We've got a new goalkeeping coach, 2 new coaches coming, and a fitness coach, which has given us quite a decent team coaching wise. It's not the best, but we're good in a lot of areas. Best goalkeeping, best defending, best attacking, best technique, best tactical. So, you know, that's a lot of bonuses, a lot of positives going into the year that they might be able to do enough for us on the training ground to get us out of that relegation zone. Now, you may or may not have noticed, but I've got 6 scouts, and that's as many as I can have. And my scouting team's not good compared to a lot of other clubs in this division, but I've still got some good scouts, good numbers, and like I always do, I'll let my chief scout or director, depending on what I've got, plan what them scouts are doing, but then I also add to that. So I have been scouting a lot, and what I was going to do over this next year or two is try and get together the best scouting list I can possible for all the youth players in Italy. Every club, every level, I want to scout every single player thoroughly, and then filter that list out. Now at this point I haven't done it, so I'm not going to show it you. This is just my general default shortlist. But I was going to create a shortlist called Italian Wonder Kids. Now it's not going to be full of just Wonder Kids. It's just going to be full of all the best players possible in Italy, interested or not, just so I know how good they are. So it could maybe help me over the next couple of years, hopefully, fingers crossed, especially if we can stay in this division. Now this division's got interesting over the last couple of years. Juventus normally dominate it, but it's been great to see Inter Milan win a couple. AC Milan won it last year. That's brilliant, because they've not been the best over the last few years. And I actually did a rebuild, my first ever club in this series last year was rebuilding AC Milan, and I loved it. So yeah, it's a good league, a lot of good teams in it, big clubs. I'm going to be going up against, I mean, Ronaldo's still at Juventus. He's old, but he's still absolute class. Some top players, clubs like Napoli, Rome, do you know what I mean? Lazio, Juve, Inter, Fiorentina, teams like this. So the challenge, it is a challenge, but I accept that challenge. Trouble is, right, is when you play in England, you do a similar thing to this, and you bring a club up into the Premier League. A lot of the time, if you can get the right few players in, and the longer you stay in the Premier League, the quicker you can build, because the amount of money you get, it's game changing. Do you know what I mean? You can really transform a team. In this division, you don't get nowhere near as much. You just don't. You don't get as much prize money. There isn't as much money, but it is still a big league. So we're going to be filling that stadium more. We're going to be selling more tickets. We will get more money, but we are a far too tiny little club. I know we've got a good stadium, but we've only just come into this league. We're miles behind everyone else, really, in terms of playing staff. So I'm hoping if I can just scrap to stay in, while costs are low, we can generate as much money as possible. I'm not thinking of European football. I'm not thinking of anything like that. If you're into this could be a slow one for the next couple of years. This is when the rebuild really, in my opinion, starts. Look who we're playing. Now I'm into Season 5. I've been playing a lot of this recently. I've been playing a lot of Football Manager. So when I go back to film a video sometimes, I forget little details. So I have to make notes. But that is one of them details, which is pretty cool. That is our arch freaking rival. Now, great club, like us, fell from grace, which is unfortunate. Been relegated from Serie A, down to B, down to C. Never went down to D, but we faced him in a few battles on this series already, and very good subscriber of mine. He's a fan. His family support him, so yeah, we've had a bit of banter in the comments, but yeah, no offense, man. I'm gonna try and beat your boys, and we're gonna beat him. We're gonna annihilate him. We're gonna embarrass him. Tactics, right? I've been messing around with this tactic since halfway through my journeyman. I've changed it in little bits. It's based on something else that I've kind of changed formations and roles. Maybe change the odd thing now and again, maybe the odd position or so on. It's not 100%. It's quite attacking. It's done me well in Serie D, C and B. But I just don't think going out attacking against all these big teams, good players, is going to be a wise thing. So, even though I like this tactic, I think it's for better players now. And I had to change it. Not the formation, but I had to change it. So this is what I've changed it to, and it's called Palermo 3. I've changed a few things. I've looked at some other tactics on Steam and taken bits from them. Because I'm not really a tactics guy. I look for inspiration from other people, really, and try and either use theirs or take bits from them, really. So I had another one called Palermo 2. Didn't like it. Changed it to this one. And just to keep you updated on other things at the club. We're not improving anything yet. We haven't got the money. 5 million in the bank. There's no point in wasting it. We had pretty decent facilities. All that kind of stuff is way, way off. So we had a pre-season, and I was allowed to go to a few different countries. No more was it, only Israel and Malta. No offence to them two places, but I wanted to broaden our horizons and went over to Spain. Lovely, lovely Spain. Bit of hot weather, even though we're used to hot weather because we are Sicilian and we live on the Mediterranean anyway. But it was nice. Good pre-season. We didn't get beat. Some good confidence building games against some pretty good teams. Now what's good is we've got 8 new players coming, but everything's okay. Team cohesion's okay. Atmosphere pretty average. Managerial support's very good, but obviously, like I said, I've got a few new ones. I've got some players I'm trying to get rid of and that have been demoted, but again, you know, it's just one of them. If you can sell them, you can sell them. Sometimes if they're average and they're only worth like 200 grand, I'll offer them out on a free and just take the hit, especially if I signed him for nothing, just to get that wages, get rid of the wages, you know what I mean? Save as much money as you can, put that money into something else. But yeah, I felt positive enough that we could do enough to stay in this league. Starting off against Inter Milan away, and then we've got a derby in the cup. Then I've got Napoli, so I didn't expect to get any points out of the first 6 available points. But then we've got a decent run there that we could go on, so I think that's enough. I think we've looked at enough, really. I think we just go forward now and see what's going on. Well, this is what's going on at the halfway mark. It's January the 4th at this point, and we find ourselves in 10th, bang on mid-table. I was very happy with this. We've won 4, which hit a lot, drawn 4, lost 4, like a perfect set, which is pretty nice. But we've got 16 points. Luckily for us, there are 3 teams that are appalling. Parma are well bad. Verona and Lecce, whatever they're called, are all atrocious. I mean, as long as they stay that bad, don't matter what happens to us, we'll do okay. We have a quick look at how we're stacking up against the rest of the league, and we're joint 10th with defence. We're better than Atalanta, Sampdoria. Some good teams, to be fair, so that's a positive. And so is this, really. We've scored 12 goals, nowhere near the top. I think Inter Milan really want their title back after they lost it to the rivals last year. So before I show you the results for the league, I want to show you 2 games, 2 wins, so you can share some Palermo Serie A goals. And Mr. Mazuko, he's a good kid, man. I mean, he's scoring goals to me. And in this game, he scored 2. He also got man of the match. I don't know how long, you know, if this club still keeps growing, he needs to keep going with it, or he might end up slotting back. This was the last game I played. I didn't even make any substitutions. It was that good. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm watching TV and I forget. I'll be honest with you. If I'm doing well, I take my eye off it. I can't lie. So yeah, maybe I fluked it. I don't know, but it was a great result. We scored in the first half. We scored in the second half, and then Mazuko got a goal right on the death. But if you saw the average ratings, they were absolutely amazing. So these are the results, you know, on the whole so far this season. And doesn't look like a lot of games, really, does it? To be fair, there are a lot of games left to play. Wow. So yeah, we're not halfway through the season technically, even though I always say that when it's January. And you know, look, we got battered off Inter. We drew with Napoli, which I think is really good. Then we beat them, drew with them, Only got beat 1-0 there. 3-2. One thing I've noticed about his new tactic is it's defensively not that bad. Look at the clean sheets. Only letting in a couple of goals. Only let 2 in there. Got a clean sheet against Verona. And then the last 4 games here, we didn't win any, but we only conceded 1. You know, it's tight margins here. Squad-wise, I think we're doing okay. I didn't expect anything more than this. I don't expect loads of over 7 average ratings, loads of greens, because we're doing enough. This is more than enough for me. This is like winning the league for us, being 10. Could stay here, be super happy. Some good players, man. Doing the business, obviously not our players. I've loaned in quality from other areas. Gianluigi, he's a good player. I mean, he's really good. Gianluigi, really good. This kid is really good, and like I said, and that's why I said it really, I was surprised when we signed him that he wasn't a wonder kid, because I thought he had the frame to be, and if you go back you'll see he wasn't. Now he is. He's come to Palermo, Milan, seriously, you can thank me later. Our skill has turned your player into a wonder kid. Over to the Coppa Italia, and obviously the big derby in the 3rd qualifying round, and we did just enough. Bloody hell, I mean, we were the better team, but we only scraped on through with an extra time winner. 2-1. So unlucky, Catania. Next up it was Bologna. Is that where spaghetti bolognese comes from? Or am I just being random? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But yeah, pretty even-ish game, but we did play better. Mizuko got us a goal. They helped us out with an own goal. And that was a 4th round qualifier. Done and dusted. On to the actual cup now, and we're going to be facing Udinese in the 1st round. Again, now I'm going to use Google Translate because I'm noticing a lot of teams. There's a lot of teams have got this on the name nowadays. Calcio. What does Calcio mean? If I'm honest, I thought it might meant club. Maybe it meant club. Udinese club. Because a lot of these foreign countries, I'm calling them foreign, like Italy, Spain and so on, and France, they turn things around, don't they? Like back to front. I don't know why. They pronounce things back to front than we do in England. So I thought it might have meant Udinese club. It doesn't. It actually apparently means football. I did not know that. Udinese football. But don't forget, we are only spending 143 grand a week on wages. That is absolute peanuts. So, you know, running costs of this club are very, very, very low. We find ourselves in mid-table, selling tickets. Got a long way to go. We could generate some more money than I actually imagined. And I was shocked. But also, I started to do some business. Yes, I'm up to my old tricks again. Up to my old tricks. I'm finding players on a free that are either going to come in, like I normally do. They're going to come in and hopefully improve the squad. Not cost us a penny. These are half decent good players. Or we might be able to sell them on and make a profit. There's a couple there that have not gone through yet. But Nigel is pretty good. Good backup striker, good striker. I've got a decent winger here. I was going to save this for next episode, but I just want to show you some of the quality. This guy I've had before, who's decent. I mean, these are going to be good players for us. I think he's pretty good, Nicola. So like I said, a lot of them are going to come in and become our players instead of having to rely on loads of loans. So that'll be the plan. Get to summer, just bring as many in as I can, go through them all, get the best 2 in each position, make sure I've got a good squad, sell what I don't need, and then fill the gaps with loans. But we've had a youth intake and we've had a couple of good players as the years have gone on. Players like Mazuko, the striker, got an artistic young midfield and a centre half in the squad as well. I was hoping for like a generational one. You kind of every year pray you're going to have your very own class of 92, and that very rarely happens. Sometimes I've had 3 really good players in one youth intake, but yeah, I'm not going to complain. We're going to have a look at my number 1 guy, Enzo. He is a left back, left midfielder, and he's okay. He's a big prospect. He's 16 years old. I look forward to the 1st of April. It is April Fool's Day, but I am not fooling you. No. What you see is real. We are still 10th, which is fantastic. 1-10, drawn 7, lost 9. And he's not my player. He's on loan from Atalanta, who are just 1 spot above us. They didn't want him, but we have turned Maggiore into some kind of player. The 3rd best player in the league. I mean, he's one of them players you look at and you might look over. 25 years old. Is he going to improve much? Maybe not. Maybe he's past his improvement stage. He's got no greens. He's got no standout stats or attributes. He's got all-round game. Financially, we're doing really well. I'm very happy. We're still just creeping up on that cash. which is good. I mean, if I could, we end the season with 25 million in the bank, and I can do a bit of business in the summer, make some profit off some free players. We could do something. So my plan was, now I'm here. My vision was, I think we're going to stay in the league. Was to, like I said, see what I can do with the squad in the summer, see how much money we can make, bring in some loans, some quality. Hopefully we can get a bit more better quality on loan, and just build them finances. So we start to build a transfer kitty to start bringing in players and start to look towards the future. And because we've got money, they've got giddy. They're starting to improve this club, or allow me to. We've got an affiliate club, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Improve the data facilities, and the youth and training facilities are getting improved. Finally, we're just trying to baby steps in it, but I absolutely love it. So super positive, because this chairman has said no to me for everything over the years. He never ever let me do anything, but we did have the money, so he's not stupid. We of course got to the first round proper, which was great for the club, but we came up against Udinese, a very good team, a few steps ahead of us. Got Man United rejects in the team, Fosu Mensah. I don't rate him, me as a player. Anyway, they beat us 2-0. I'm going to show you a couple of games that I really enjoyed, show you a few Palermo goals. Why not? And this was a win against Parma. You've seen how bad Parma are. They're looking like they're probably going to go down, but this was a team I looked at the beginning when I took the Palermo job, because they had a similar thing. They crashed down to the bottom, had to reform as a Phoenix team exactly like us, and then they flew straight back up. Next up is what I consider possibly our greatest victory this year, the greatest highlight of the season. Coming up against the big teams, we're getting punished quite often, just getting outclassed. Roma at the time of this, I think we're a top 5 team, a very good team, got some really, really good players. So to go to Rome in the Olimpico and beat him with a Mizuko goal, and not only beat him, outplay him. So these are the results on the whole, and you know, lots of reds. You know, we're getting beat off big teams. Look at this run. We started off that run brilliant, so to do that was fantastic. But then, you know, we're getting beat off Juve into Napoli. Fair enough. But then we haven't been beat for the last 5 games. We're beating teams I wanted to beat, teams in and around us. So I think we just jump forward to the end of the year and just see what happened. Let's just go through everything. See if we could stay 10th. Could we get any higher? It's exciting, man. This season was brilliant. Before I show you what happens, let's talk about a few things. This is the first win since you last saw where we're up to, because the next 5 games are lost. It was accumulation of fatigue, I think, a few injuries, and I was starting to question a few things. But then we played a team like this, and we should be beating, and we just stepped it back up, and it was a kick up the arse. But then we had a couple of good games. A team here that have given us 3 players. One, they've just discarded 25-year-old Mr. Maggiore, who's like one of the best players now in the league. He played against his own team and we beat him 1-0. And then, oops, I did it again. What the frig? We beat Roma 1-0. Mizuko, legend. That hurt me. Yeah, that was quite painful. It's been a long time since I've had that much consecutive red. But then we didn't lose. We only lost 1 more game in the last lot. Won 4, drew 2. Great. As you've probably seen already. 11th. Which, you know, is not bad. Genoa pipped us to the post for mid-table dominance. Lukaku. 50p feet himself is leading goal scorer in the Serie A. So this was the final squad. As you can see, my man from Atalanta. What a player, 40 games, great average rating. Brilliant. The right back who came in January, fantastic young player. Like I said, he's the first piece, hopefully, of many that we can start putting together. Maybe not next year. Like I said, I want to build this club. It's going to be a slow process. Hopefully you keep watching it so I can keep playing it. But Marzuko had a good season as well. 15 goals. You can't complain from the kid. He's not the best. He's a good young player. So I think that's a pretty successful season. I'm pretty chuffed with it. I'd love to know what you think. I definitely think we overachieved, but I think in a good way. And I think we're laying them foundations. And this is what I love about rebuilding a team like this. It's a real passion. And it drives me on. Honestly, it's driving me on. Like I said, I've nearly finished season 5. So I'm playing a lot in the background and then just trying to film them and make these videos for you when I can. I have mentioned in my Salford series that I might be going back to work in the next week, maybe 2, maybe 3. I'm not 100% sure yet when I'm going back, but I will be. And when I do go back, I'm going to be back to full-time work, so I don't know how many series I'm going to be able to make. So there we go, that is the end of episode 4 of Rebuilding Palermo. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button, get involved in the comments, let me know what you think, let me know how your save's going. I like just to getting to know you guys, and it's the best way in the comments. Some of you have become friends through chatting in the comments, and now you're in WhatsApp groups with me, so thank you very much for all your support. You're a bunch of legends, and I hope you stick with the channel. So stay happy, stay safe, make sure you come back for episode 5. Don't let me down, hit that like button, you're a hero. So yeah, for me and my family, we wish you all the best. I'm Bood. I'll see you next time.